What's going on, everyone? This is Cap24, and this week what we're going to do is give you a few gameplay videos that I just went over this week in my club championship. If you guys didn't know, I qualified for the Falcons Club and ended up going 2-1 in brackets, ended up winning my playoff game and getting to the finals before going to California, and unfortunately I lost the game in which the 3-3-5 odd got the best of me on a looping blitz by Lawrence Taylor. This really stinks with that blitz because of the fact that it does come in sometimes and some don't. This video is going to show you how I play the same exact type defense in the 3-3-5 odd, what my tournament style offense is for this. What I mean by that is when you're in a tournament, you don't want to go ahead and have 15, 20, 30 plays when it comes to running against the same defense that you see over and over and over again. FMBTopDogZay is definitely going to be a top player. He's going to be at the championship. He qualified for top 4. This is a game in which I played him, and I'm going to show you basically what I like to do against 3-3-5 odd in this and kind of talk you through. As you can see, he did the scum kick. I have Devlin back there as a fullback. As a fullback, the guy's not going to catch the ball and run, and it really kind of hurts me. You're going to see later in the game that I kind of adjust to that. So the first play here, you can see that I fast forwarded. I'm just going to show you offensive plays. I'm down 7-0. This is a play that I like to go over the top. I like to test it right away in the beginning of the game. And a lot of times I score in the first play of the game by doing so. Watch RB on this. He's the slot receiver. He's going to get wide open for a one-play score. Unfortunately, my blocking does not hold up. I kind of panic a little bit because I see the looper was coming in. But you're going to see that RB would have been wide open. I'm going to try this one more time as the game goes on. Don't have good success with it, but it is something I like to go to. I'm in a hole now, 2nd and 14. I picked the gun doubles X dig play. This is a play that I really like because what I do is I put the Y on a slant, and I'm really looking to get the user to follow the slant and hit the B. I put the running back to the right because I want double edge protection. You're going to see that I kind of drift to the left, and then I hit this player on the deep in. It's a 20-yard in route. You see how deep that is? Really tough for 3-3-5 to cover that because the responsibility is more of the inside, not that player, and we're able to have some really good success. The next play I do here is what I like at gun doubles weak. You can see what we did. We put the outside player on a fade, and we did the Y. And what you're going to see here is that we're going to be able to hit that fade because they man activate on the right-hand side, and we're able to get an easy catch. It's something that I do like to go to. You can see I'm going to run probably 4 or 5 plays very often in this playbook because of the way it is. Next play I'm going to go to is trips tight end double sail. I'll put the Y on a flat pattern and basically the B on a streak. I'm looking to hit the running back. If not, I'm going to hit this X. You can see how the X is. I'd make a move and get up the field. It really puts a stress on a user to cover one side or the other. So I'm moving the ball pretty well down the field here. Let's see what I do here in the next play. I'm kind of watching this with you guys as I commentate. I believe I probably went to a run play. Let's see what here. Yeah. So my favorite run play is gun Y off trips weak inside zone. There's a couple reasons for it. If you look over here on the left-hand side, you've got the tight end offset. But if I motion this player to the right, on the right in, a lot of times when I'm on the right hash mark, the other guy kind of pinches in. And I'm getting a lot of success against 3-3-5 odd doing this. I like it more on the right hash mark because I feel like it has a little bit better blocking, but it definitely can work everywhere. So that's kind of the run I'm going to. So what I wanted to do is make sure that I've got other plays in that formation that I go to, and that's this X under play, where you're going to see I'm going to do a very similar concept. I'm going to put the A on that route right there where I want to make sure that the guy runs and tries to cover him down the field, and I'm going to hit the X underneath or the B over the top. That time I got the player to go underneath. You can see it's a very similar concept that I did earlier in the game where I threw it to the in. This time the user jumped the in. I threw a high ball point pass behind him. So right now I'm kind of driving on him. And again, this is really 3-3-5 odd the entire time. Sometimes he'll send both heat. Sometimes he'll send one side. He typically always sends the player on the left. You can see that I went right back to that play. Very close to breaking that. All I had to do is get that spin. I didn't get it. But it's inside zone at a gun Y off trips weak. It's definitely something you want to run to the left side on a looping blitzer because of the way that it does a really great job blocking. I'm inside the 10 here, 1st and goal. And you'll see that I play pretty conservative this game. It's something that I try not to make a mistake early when it comes to throwing an interception inside the end zone. So what I'm doing is knowing he's probably not going to be in 3-3-5 odd this close to the goal line. So what I want to do is kind of test his other run D. The first play you saw that I ran was kind of an inside zone. I'm going here with a single back ace. I believe it's called the 23 zone. It's a really nice handoff to where your quarterback kind of opens up. You can see I'm IDing the mic right now. I'm trying to ID the player right there above the right guard. You're going to see that we get a good nice seal-off block. I go inside. I thought I was going to get there and basically get tackled at the 1. This next play I go to a single back tight. I remember this play pretty well to where it's wing tight. It's a halfback dive. And I make a mistake here. Right? I'm not going to lie to you. Basically, I ID the wrong player. What my thoughts were was I was going to ID the linebacker to where I can get people to second level. I wasn't expecting my left guard to leave this guy coming straight through, but I believe my IDing of that player allowed that player to come in. I don't know why the left guard didn't take the player above him, but you can see the guy came straight in and blew me up. Unfortunately, that ends my drive. I really thought I had the opportunity to get there. I was going to drive that player down, but that guy did do an inside stunt and basically leaves me in the dust. Score ends up 7-3. I am going to fast forward this to my next offensive drive. He does kick a field goal, which basically went ahead and made the score 10-3. So we're looking at 1:25 left in the second quarter. I do get ball back second half. You can see Scum kicks it again. Devlin will not pick that ball up and run. Unfortunately, I'm trying to avoid getting hit stick, which ended up really being a nightmare for me, especially in a spot where I needed to get some yards right away. I go back to the one play touchdown play that I really like against 3-3-5 odd. I know it's going to be open as long as I have enough time. Watch the RB again. He's going to be open. I hit this all the time, but unfortunately on this one as well, I don't get the blocking I want. Watch RB. He's wide open. He's going to be a one-play score. And I just bail out. So unfortunately, I pinned myself at the 1-yard line. I go to this play called Strong Flood. This is probably my favorite get out of danger play when they sent both sides. I knew he was going to send both sides. No reason not to in a situation like this. Because this route on the left is really a nice, quick-hitting route, I know that I can basically throw it to him on its break and be able to get myself at least out of the end zone so I can kind of live the drive up. Hit it right on its break, get myself 8-9 yards. Gives that ability just to go ahead and do it. He calls a timeout. Now, my thought here on this play, this is a designed quarterback draw play for me. Watch the play design that I do here. And it's something I probably haven't taught you guys yet because it's not really a play, but it is a play that I go to in this type of situation against this defense. If you look on the left, I'm going to put a wheel and a streak. All that is to clear everybody away. I like this route here on the B because what he does is he goes across the middle, and I can kind of use him as a lead defender blocker. So I'm trying to time this. As soon as he comes across, I know it's just me and the player. So kind of use that guy to my advantage and get to that point. That was a design play for me, knowing that all I had to do is kind of buy a little time and go for it. And it actually worked out really well. So now I'm going to go back to Gun Bunch Week. I believe I went to the Broncos rub here. And I do the setup to where I'm trying to hit the running back or the wheel route on the left, depending on if it's a high-low. I missed my read here. Okay, my read should have been the Y. Watch the Y should have been open. It was hard flats, but I do make up for it with a little bit of thing. I should have hit the Y right here. See how I missed him there? Well, I get this guy to come here. I get to throw it over his head because he was kind of trying to figure out where he was. Kind of caught him in no man's land. Got him in a nice position to where now I'm in field goal range. 44 seconds, only one timeout. Really not a great spot for me to be in to go ahead and basically, this is kind of one of those things, sometimes you force something and you give up points. So I try not to do that here. I know that he's going to go to the left on this because of the last play. So I throw the slant pattern in the middle and I get to 38 seconds. And this is really a poor management job by me. I went from 36 seconds all the way down to 22, I believe, because I flipped the play. I didn't really mean to do this. I thought I was on the right side with this run. I picked the wrong run, but you're going to see that basically this cost me points. I went ahead and got the run. I have to call the timeout here. At 16 seconds, I know I got one play. I could still spike it. So what I go to is the play that we've taught you here, single back doubles. And I'm really looking for the Y route here. This is the PA flow play. I'm looking for, the first initial reaction is I'm looking for the Y in the seam or the B. But I know the B is probably going to get open here, but I can't afford to get tackled inbounds if on a long break in play. So I'm really trying to hit the Y to see if I can get him in that angle. Once I see he's covered, I know it's time to bail out. I kind of just throw it to this player to get out of bounds, and we're good to go. So it was kind of a risky play, kind of one of those deals. But now I'm close enough, I know I could throw it to the end zone. And this is kind of one of those deals as well, that I'm looking Y first. I'm actually looking X first on the break, and then Y. I'm hoping that he's putting his safety in a hard flat here. He ended up leaving him in a hook zone, which took away the player to the X. So I had to kind of panic for a second, and I had to throw a high ball point to him. Before I go into any play, I always say to myself, X then Y, RB then B. Whatever the two reads I want, I'm saying it in my head ahead of time, so when I'm in a pressure situation, I know what I want to do. I want to look at the X first. If not, I know that B is going to be my man. That's what basically saved me there. Excuse me. It's because I knew that I was going to be able to go ahead and look at one man and kind of adjust to the other. So we go into halftime 10-6. I get the ball back and basically go ahead and try to get this game a little bit closer than it is. You can see that I go to onside recovery. Then I go and audible XX. In order to get Devlin out of that fullback position, now I'm going to have Randy Moss. You can see I just clicked on Ross. What this is going to do is I'm still not going to be able to catch this ball, but I'm going to be able to run with it after it bounces. Before, you saw Devlin basically fell to the ground. Now, he's going to be able to get to the base, 35, 36 yard line here, which basically saved me about 15 to 20 yards I wasn't getting before. It's basically a free first down, right? So I'm going to go to X dig again. This is something that he didn't stop the first time. I'm going to go back to the well with this. It's usually good about 18 to 20 yard gain. Let's see if he does better with it on this time. See, I still move the running back over to the right. I want to see the Y. He still goes after the Y like everybody else does, and I'm able to hit that player. Most people are programmed to cover the crossing route first because of the plays like Pat's sail and all the ones that typically, if somebody's in a hard flat, they know that a slant's going to beat them across the field, so they have to worry about that, and that's why we're able to use there against them. As you can see, I'm not using a ton of plays in this game because of the style play he's using, but I'm mixing them up to make sure that he sees it, basically what it is. Here, you can see that I'm going to do that same play. I like to throw the RB right out of the backfield, almost like a makeshift screen. That's always my first read. Throw it to the wheel right away first if nobody's there. That's when he blitzed everybody. If he was to leave him in a hard flat, we would have been able to hit that wheel route by the slot receiver. If he was in a cloud flat, we would have basically been also able to hit that running back out the wheel. So here we go to a running play. We know that it's 2nd 1. Sometimes, you want to take a chance on 2nd 1, and sometimes you just want to solidify that it's a free run play for you. You just want to pound it out, get that first down. So here, we're at 1st and 10, down 4. You can see that I'm trying to kind of figure out where I want to go with this play. I went with a run again, and you can see that I kind of want to do a little bit of motion to stop it. I'm not having a whole lot of success running, but you can see that I need to keep him honest in order to make it work. Definitely want to pass more than anything. So we're looking at here, obviously, 3rd quarter's kind of winding down. And we're in 5-minute quarters in this, where basically that's the setting that they made us play in. So I just want to make sure you see where we're at. And this is salary cap, by the way, if I didn't mention this. Now I'm going to back to that X underplay. This is the one where you've got the underneath that's low and the top. And you can see what he did that time. Remember the first time I did this, he jumped the underneath route and I threw it over the top. This time he jumped the deep route and I threw it underneath. Very tough. You can see Calvin Ridley's having a really good game. That's basically your 3rd receiver. Well, I put my number 2 receiver in the slot, but it's going to be your outside right receiver. He does a really good job in this scheme, right? So he's got 7 for 30, and it's the 81 version of Calvin Ridley. You can see here what I'm doing again is I'm trying to do the X on the in, but what you can see is I know he's going left, so I actually put the running back on a streak route. So what I did was I took advantage of what I was doing before. I set this play up. I did it where I threw the underneath route. I did it where I threw the over-the-top route. And then I wanted him to kind of jump the in route. And when I got him to go to the left, I actually went ahead and threw the streak. And it really was a play that I'd been setting up all game for a spot I really wanted to. You can see how well it worked. Here's what I was talking about as far as the run. I moved the right guy in on the right hash mark. That moved the other player in. Still not having success inside the 20. You know, I'm really trying my best to not, you know, throw a ball that's going to be a jump ball. The game's close. I want to make sure that I've got the ability to, you know, keep it at hand. Here, I'm looking for the RB because I think he was going to blitz everybody, but he didn't. So I still throw it to the underneath checkoff, which was this player underneath. So right now I'm 13 for 14 for 182 yards. I'm just kind of nickel and diming him as I go. As you can see, he's playing a certain style D that you can see over and over and over again, whether you're playing salary cap or regs or whatnot. This is the meta D, right? So it's 3rd and 3. I know I'm going to run this ball. I'm trying to ID the player that I want. And you can see that I kind of cut it back, and I thought I squeezed in, and it ends up being 4th and inches. Now, I didn't want to chase points here. This is something that if I get stopped here, he's up 4. He scores a touchdown. Basically, he's up 2 possessions. So what I do is I call the play, and I want to see what his defense is. This is always something that you want to do when you have time. I had no intentions of ever running this play unless I got a look that I wanted. He came out in goal line. You can see that he pinched his players. I felt like I could have kind of went to the outside with this, but I wasn't going to risk it when it came to, not taking points on the board. I went ahead and kicked this field goal to go 10-9. And the reason why I did that was just basically because I wasn't impressed with his offense enough to feel like I couldn't stop him. But and even if I didn't, at least I'm still 1 score away with a 2-point conversion. So this point in the game, I wanted to play it smart. Like I said, I was playing a little more conservative. Put the points up, it's 10-9, right? Now, I believe this is the drive in which I make a stop. And let me see. Yeah, okay, so it's 4th and 5. I just want to kind of show you where the stop is and what we were doing. He's coming out in trips tight end. So I did the cover 6. And what I'm doing is I'm doing the method which I talked about where we're going to press the Odell Beckham Jr., right? So I pick up this guy. I want to press him. And I'm getting in his face and basically want the cover 6 side, the cover 2 side to the left, cover 4 side to the right. He motions him, and that kind of takes away what I wanted to do with it, but actually sets us up pretty well. And you can see he tries to hit that seam, and I've got a guy in the perfect position to stop it right there. Didn't really have to do much as a user because we had the right call, but you can see what I was trying to do to stop him. So now you can see 10-9, 4 minutes and 32 seconds to go in the game, and we really just need to get in field goal range to win this game, right? Trying to figure out a way to, get all the clock off and win it is probably going to be tough this late in the game because he's got all his timeouts. I go with Broncos rub, and you can see that I know that play is going to be sitting open on the sidelines, so I just kind of delayed myself some time on that comeback route, and we're money. Anytime somebody's running a scheme in which they're doing hard flats, that's always going to be open. In cloud flats, you know it's going to be open as well because of the man activation. So we relied on that. Here we go back to my favorite run play. And you can see that we hit that hole. We got 1 man to beat. We basically go to the left to kind of get him to have a bad angle on it. And we spun back inside for the touchdown. So we just go up, and we're up 5. So we need to go for the 2-point conversion. Now, you can see I was a little hesitant on the play that I wanted. But what I went with was flanker drive out of gun bunch. And the reason why I do this is because it's got a kind of a high-low. A lot of people are going to want to cover the player in the back of the end zone. So in this play, because we've got B on the drag, any hesitation of somebody playing too deep allows me to get to the B underneath, and that's exactly what I did. You can see that he just took a little bit of a flinch. He didn't know if I was going to the tight end or the drag. Most people will always take the tight end on it. So I've hurried it up to now. This is the end of the game. I'm up 7. The clock's running down. 4th and goal from the 2. Need to make a stop to win the game. And he goes ahead and does a curl on the back of the end zone. I go to knock it out. And Calvin Johnson holds on to it. So we're looking at a tied game. 33 seconds to go in the 4th quarter. And I've got to make a bread drive. It's basically one drive for the game here. I go do the onside kick. Click out by pressing XX in order to make sure I get Moss in that spot. Because I'm hoping just to get to about the 35-yard line just to make sure that I've got a decent shot. I can't be held back at the 16 like I was that one time. And I was able to get the ball, back to the 35-yard line like I was wanting, right? So I only got one timeout. This is one of those issues that you got to make sure that you want to stay aggressive to win the game, but an interception here would kill you. So what we're going to go to is we're going to go Broncos run. He hasn't been able to stop this pretty much the whole game. And what I wanted to do was make his user decide, does he want to cover out the running back or the slant coming across, right? So you can see what I'm doing here, putting the B on the slant and putting the running back to the outside. Now, what you'll see is, remember how I missed the Y read last time? Well, this time I take the read and I hit that guy on the sidelines for the huge catch. I wasn't really looking to throw it to him, but I knew that it was hard flats. I said, you know what? I missed it the first half. I wasn't going to miss it the second half. I'm in field goal range. Now this is really about trying to figure out the clock. I figured that I could make one run and hopefully get 2 or 3 more yards just to make sure that I make it a little bit easier of a kick. And I was relying on him trying to ice me, okay? Knowing that if I went to field goal, I had enough time that he would ice me because of the fact that he wasn't going to make this an easy kick. I actually picked fake field goal here. And the reason for it was I wasn't going to let him ice me, because now I'm going to back to go fake field goal here. And then I'm going to then audible to field goal, and I wouldn't have been iced, okay? Now, actually before I did this, I decided that it was 2nd and 7. And I wanted to go ahead and I wanted to spike the ball in order to take some time off the clock. I felt it was something that if I can spike the ball, and maybe I can get to 11 seconds. Because I knew if I hit this field goal, it would probably be about 6 or 7 seconds left on the clock. You know, and if he has a decent run back, I wanted to take as many seconds off the clock, right? So I go over here and clock the ball. I figured, you know what? Clock it, it'd probably be 11 seconds, right? Unfortunately, that didn't happen for us. Stayed at 12, okay? And look what happens. As soon as I spike it, I don't know, and I don't want to accuse him of glitching me out, but something happened to where I got signed out of the game completely. Like, I went from spiking the ball to not even being signed into the game. I had to go, if you look on the right, say, please sign in. I had to choose my profile. I had to put my password back in. I'm sitting here in the middle of a tournament game looking for where I wrote down my password. Well, we had to go back and redo the game. As you can see, it's 7-7, which is really 17-17. I go ahead and I de-iced the kicker by telling you what I did before. I kicked fake field goal, and then I went ahead and unkicked fake field goal. I drilled this kick for the game winner, and I win 17-7. 20-17. So appreciate you guys on this video. We'll come back with more. Hopefully you got some good tips on how to beat 335 odd.